This plant would be a candidate for a show, but as you can see, this spike is about gone. And I probably would not take it to a show unless we really were desperate for a plant, because I know that it can have big spikes like this, but I would not take it with this spike on it. So I take this off. I'll show you what I do. This comes out. And I'm going to take this off. Now I could use a clipper. I've got a clipper in the box, but if I don't have to clip, I don't have to sterilize it. Anytime you use a clipper or any kind of equipment on a plant, you need to sterilize it. Okay, this is a lot of blooms there that if I wanted to, one thing that's a rule is that if you take a bloom off the plant like this, you really should leave the blooms so if the judges want to judge it, they can see what you had to take off, okay? Suppose you, in taking a plant to a show, you knock one of the big cattleya blossoms off. You should pick that blossom up and you should put it with the plant somewhere, hide it, because this is a show for the public. We want the plant to look the best. So what we would do is we would take that off, and I try to arrange these spikes so that they have the best presentation looking at it from one side. Now, if I need to, I have some stakes here. If, for instance, I would like to move this one over a little bit, I would stake it so that it will be there. One thing you got to watch when you stake, like after the blossoms start coming out, is that you keep the natural orientation of the blossom itself. So I wouldn't want to move it over too far because it would look awkward there. See how the blossoms are turned? But I can move it just a little bit if I wanted to. And still have these. Obviously, in my little greenhouse, I have moved this plant because there are some of these blossoms that are sitting straight up and some are not. But I might do that. If I was going to stake that one, I'd hide the stake as much as I could by sticking it down in here somewhere and pour it right there. And I've got some clips somewhere. These little clips work fine. I might even move this one over, do whatever you want to with it. Or we have these ties, you can use, tie them up. Okay. Now I'm looking at the leaves. The leaves on this one are pretty clean. I did see one earlier. One right here is an older leaf that's getting kind of beat up, and here's a dead root. Now I will take that root off, or I could just hide it up under the plant. I could either cut it off or hide it. A lot of times I'll just hide them. In this case, that's what I'll do. Now this leaf I might take off, but this particular plant, these leaves are very fragile, and so I can take it off. If I do that and it's obvious, see this one got broke there in transit, and there's nothing there, no reason for me to do anything other than just throw it away. But if you want to be sure that the judges don't think you're hiding something, you stick it back in the plant and let them see it. Because when they do, if they do an AOS judge, they will take this plant out of the pot. In the meantime, the ribbon judging is what they see when you look at it. And that's what they will judge. They'll judge the flowers and the plant itself. Okay. So, we have this, and you could they might ask what happened to that, but these judges know that this was an older spike. They can tell that. And they know what to look for. So in this case, I would just throw this one away because there's nothing there. And if they really want to know, there's some of the blossoms that they have. Okay. Now, you need to know which category your plants goes in while you're exhibiting it. So I think that one will be okay for the show. Okay, I brought this little plant for some of you to take a look at. This is a Ludasia discolor. It does not have a blossom on it. It's a very small plant, but it will get big. It can get as big as this one. And this one, if it blooms, it has a nice white spike. It comes up with little white blossoms on it. But this one all plants in the exhibit need to have flowers, except one that is grown for the foliage. And this is one of those that the foliage is really nice, and it could be exhibited in the miscellaneous category. It's the very last category that they have. So it doesn't have to have a blossom. But this is so small, I wouldn't put it in the show. But anyway, I wanted you to see that foliage plants, orchids, if they're orchids, they can be exhibited. Okay, let's see, looking a little further. I wanted to show you one thing. I have a damp cloth here with just water on it. If you have a plant that has some debris on it, you can take and wash the leaves off. Just wash them off easily. If there's anything on there that shouldn't be. So clean your plant up, make it look the best it can. On the exhibit, for those of you who are new, we cover the exhibit with black cloth, the table with black cloth, black background, because, and I didn't bring a sample of black, but if you hold a black cloth up behind this, it makes the plant stand out. And that's why we use those black tags, like these. It sort of blends in and the plant stands out because that's all you see.
And Grecum distinctum.
Okay, distinctum. Okay, beautiful plant. And it does have some, the only thing I see on it, you can see it here. There are some older foliage there, but each one of those older ones has some blossoms on them, so I'll leave them. And so I think this plant's good to go. I don't see anything on it. One thing too, I want to mention that you want your plants cleaned when you take them to the exhibit. No bugs, no debris, no viruses. Be sure that you do not have any of those things on your plants when you take them to an exhibit, because especially viruses will migrate to other plants. And we really don't want a virus plant in our exhibit. That pretty much concludes setting your plant up for an exhibit.
I just brought this in. It's naturally not smelling right now, but in the morning it has a very strong scent, and a lot of the cattleyas also have a very beautiful scent to them. So they can be judged for both the blossom and for the scent. So you might see two ribbons. The two of us had some cattleyas at the last show that we were in, and they both got fragrance awards as well as blossom awards. Does anybody have a suggestion for how I might present this one a little bit better?
Some different ways you've got it spiked that blend more with the colors.
So give me more.
Like green, like, you know what I mean? Like using a green support and
Right.
maybe some wraps.
Okay, so you see my ugly supports here? So if you got a green support instead of these ugly ones that I just grabbed because the thing was spiking and I needed to get it supported, so switching these out for something that would blend, even like maybe this color would blend more closely with the green and wouldn't show as much. Anything else?
You need to support the flower somehow a little bit?
Yeah, so if you look here, if it's setting down, it's like almost touching.
With a higher level.
Yeah, so raise it up a little bit, but you don't want to raise it up to where the blooms look like they're cattywampus.
Yeah,
Right?
too far.
You want to raise it to where they look natural, so you'd put a taller stake here probably, and then maybe on the display, since this is a cascading blossom, you might put it on the edge. You may have already mentioned this, Lillian, but just doing this when the blooms are opening up is the best time, not now, after, but as they're in bud, getting it to the level that you want it before it opens up, and then those buds will open up more naturally and they won't be like this.
Yeah, that's good. I mentioned that a little bit, but
And what about the stalk going off that way? That's okay?
This one,
Yeah,
that's last year's pseudobulb.
right.
There's not much that can be done about that.
Okay,
But this is still green and firm, so it's still helping the plant. You don't want to cut it.
okay.
It's going to hurt the plant. You can, if they're really ugly, sometimes you can take your black cloth and kind of disguise things, like we did when we set up the show the last time. You can hide a few
Tweak things,
a
yes.
few sins. Whenever you're moving a plant that's in bud that you think you want to show, make sure you're setting it back down in the same orientation to the light to help it bloom more evenly in terms of its orientation.